I thought our crowd was terrific again. Excited about our students coming back here this next week, but just want to say how appreciative that we are as a program for the home crowds that we've had here during the break, because they've been electric, they've been loud, they've helped us win, and we don't take that for granted.
Questions?
Gather from the players that you probably weren't thrilled with the way the last 15 minutes of the game went.
No, I wasn't thrilled with that. I think it takes a mature team to play the right way, regardless of what the scoreboard says, and we have some maturing to do.
Do you kind of, I guess on some level you acknowledge that can be hard when the environment is just, it's kind of everything you guys throw up is going in there for a while and the place is going crazy. Is that on Trey and Melvin and Briante to reel it in, or is that something that just kind of gets away, and once it gets away, it's away?
I think it's on all of us. I think it's on our coaching staff, it's on our players, it's on our older players, and then it's on our younger guys. I thought, for the most part, the older guys, the starters, played the right way. And I thought some guys came off the bench at times tonight with some ulterior motives. And that's just, it's not the way we want to be. It is certainly understandable when you're up 15 or 20, but it's not acceptable. There's a difference between those two things.
Is that a rite of passage that a lot of kids, or not a rite of passage, but a lesson most kids that come in here or anywhere are going to have to learn at some point? Maybe today was the day?
It's a lesson that they're going to have to learn. I don't know if they learned it fully today. It's certainly something that we addressed and talked about, and something that we will continue to address. I thought our bench did a really good job in the Davidson game, coming in and playing with a purity and a focus on only one thing, and that's helping our team win. Today, not so much. So we certainly have some work to do.
Coach, it seemed like you guys were getting to every loose ball, all the 50-50 balls. You caused 20 turnovers. Is that something you noticed?
Yeah, the guys did a good job flying around. Breed led the way as always. Getting his hands on the basketball, I thought that contributed to a lot of good shots for us. We had good energy. I thought the energy was good. I thought, to start the game and then again to start the second half, we played the right way. Guys were locked in on following the plan. But again, that's Jordan Burgess, Trey Graham, Mo Ali Cox, Briante Weber, and Melvin Johnson. Now we need the guys that come in after them to, at the very least, maintain the level of energy and hopefully take it to another notch.
Coach, more than 50% from three. Was there something you saw pre-game preparation that you thought you could exploit this afternoon from long range?
No, it's that's one of the most variable statistics. I think our guys did do a good job of looking for one another and getting some good looks from outside, and even some of the ones we missed were good shots. And then it just comes down to being ready to shoot when you get the ball. I thought Mel did a real nice job of being shot ready, and when it came his way, really happy for him that he was able to knock some in, because he's been kind of in a little bit of a slump.
Coach, if we get here early enough, we see Melvin out there on the floor shooting significantly earlier than the guys slowly come out. Is that just Melvin? Is that the players? Is it something you've talked to him about?
No, he's a work ethic warrior. He really puts a lot of time in. In the off season, it gets to the point where we have to shut him down sometimes, because he spends so much time in the gym. But I think that he's learned over the years that's going to pay off, and that's when you're having a rough time as a shooter, which he has over the last several games. The best way to work yourself out of that is just to get reps and see it go in and feel it, the right way, shooting it the right way, and it paid off today.
He's gone from being kind of happy-go-lucky when he walks in here and cracking jokes to giving one-word answers and always looking ticked off. What do you think that is?
Well, I would guess today is, he probably was not happy with, what we talked about earlier, which is just kind of the way we finished the game defensively. I would guess, I don't know. He can be a little moody, so it might be that too. But he's still got the personality, so you just got to catch him on the right day, and he'll give you some good quotes.
You guys shot 42, or you had 41 points in the paint, but it looked like early on they were doing a good job of denying the interior, which
They did.
coincidentally led to you guys killing them from three. What
Yeah.
were they doing to keep you guys out of paint?
Well, they did a nice job switching screens. They switched ball screens, they switched handoffs, they even switched some screens off the ball. A lot of people switch ball screens against us, but not as many people switch screens off the ball. So it really, we haven't seen that a lot. We work on it some in practice, but sometimes it gets guys on their heels a little bit, and it makes the possession longer because some of your typical actions don't work because of the switching. So they did a nice job of that, and I thought that kind of got us on our heels. But again, we were able to make some threes, as you mentioned. Trey had a big one at the end of the clock. And, that's just good players making plays.
Is that something you had seen from them on the tape? I know they did a pretty good job. It's a solid GW team, but is that something they were showing, or did that catch you off guard?
No, well, the switching, they switched Trey's ball screens last year, which is the way that 90% of people guard Trey. Hadn't seen as much off the ball, a little bit, but they did that more today than they had recently.
You guys got a 3-game road trip here, starting with Rhode Island, who after that you only have 2 undefeated A-10 teams. Can you just talk about that matchup coming up?
Yeah, I mean, Danny Hurley's done a terrific job there. They've got, they've assembled a really, really good team. And not only do they have great talent, but they have guys that fit him and fit their system. You can't play for him without having toughness and without being about the defensive end and getting stops. Their defensive numbers are really, really impressive. I've caught them on TV a little bit, but we'll obviously dive into them starting now. But they have a great crew, and E.C. Matthews is as explosive of a scorer as there is in the Atlantic 10, so we're certainly going to have to be ready to do a good job there.
Coach, in light of that 3-game road trip, I think you got 5 of your next 7 conference games on the road, just to get out to a 3-0 start in conference play. How big is that for you guys to get started the right way in conference?
Well, we just want to win the game that's in front of us. We're not really focusing on what we have, 5 out of 7 or 3 in a row or anything like that, because it's just the next game. We try to take what we call a 1-0 mentality. If we can go 1-0 each day, each game, then the rest will take care of itself. So we'll go on the road to Rhode Island. We know that's going to be a heck of a challenge, and put our best foot forward, and hopefully we can grow from today.
Chuck, are you pretty happy with the way, this atmosphere, being ranked, winning 8 in a row, all that stuff? That can all be pretty heady stuff, especially for a young kid. Are you pretty happy with the way the freshmen and the young guys are handling the big man on campus and everything's going great and all that stuff? Are you pretty happy with the way they're handling that?
Overall, yes. Today, no. I think overall they've made progress with that. They've certainly made a lot of growth. Today was not our best day in that regard. But again, I think it had probably more to do with that we got up. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen is to get off to a start the way we did, because coaches don't think this way, but sometimes players think, well, it's going to be easy. And that can cause you to be a step off or just a half second behind in your thinking. So I think that affected us a little bit today. But overall, those guys are making strides.
Coach, this is win number 150 in 6 years. What does that number mean for you?
Nothing. It's just, it says I've coached a lot of games. seems like I just coached my first game, but it goes fast, you know, and you just learn not to take anything for granted. But I'm appreciative of our guys that we have on our team, appreciative of the guys that I coached on former teams, and they're the ones that have won the games. I've not scored a basket here or gotten a rebound. Obviously, we've got a lot of goals in front of us, and that's what we're focused on.
Any other questions? Thanks, Coach.